So obviously last year, kind of a mix up and down the season. You're returning a ton of players this year. What are your goals for this year? What height do you think you guys can reach?
Is that on us?
It's anyone.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're working for the small school championship this year. The NBL, and that's going to be a big goal for us.
Absolutely.
Oh, you go to the next one. So you guys, if I'm correct, you guys went to a 7-on-7 up in Columbus, right? The Ballhawks, the Ballhawks, right? That was it. So you guys went 6-0 and won that tournament. How big are those 7-on-7 scrimmages and just the like 7-on-7s in general to prepare for the season and see different coverages and stuff like that? Coach, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's really good for the quarterbacks to work on time with the receivers. There's no fear of a rush. There's no line play, so a lot of people look at it as not real football, but for timing, for number of reps that you can't get in a practice, it's very valuable for us. Defensively, we get to work a lot of our coverages, our base coverages that we're going to play in the season. So it's just for us, the number of reps that we're getting is really the value. That's 6 20-minute sessions of good on good that we're able to get that we can't replicate in practice. So that's where the value comes. It's not going to win or lose you a ball game, but it helps us to get a lot of reps.
And then, Coach, going into this year, what are you looking to improve most to your team's game from last year to this season?
Finishing. Finishing is the big piece. I think we had a couple of games last year that were a one-possession game that could have won either way, and just didn't do enough to get them done. So finishing and details are really the two things that we've kind of been hammering to help us take those next steps and get back on top of the NBL.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
I kind of want to elaborate on that. What does that work look like during the offseason for you guys?
What words?
I guess trying, or not trying, but reevaluating from last season, making those changes, kind of anything offensively, defensively?
No, there's no schematic changes. It's just I think that when players lead, great things happen. When just like your mom or dad would talk to you, sometimes you got to hear from somebody else. And so you hear coach all off season, you hear coach all spring, all summer, and then on the field you're not hearing coach. Right? I can try to yell as loud as I want. Right? But there's fans that are cheering, there's bands that are playing. So it's really the 11 on the field that are having that impact and somebody that can hold you accountable and also pick you up if something goes wrong. So just trying to put our guys in positions where they feel comfortable leading. We had an off-season book study where these 3 guys as well as some other guys participated, where we looked at how can we be better communicators, be better leaders, and try to help them feel more comfortable doing it. I think it's easy to say, hey, we need somebody to lead, right? But until you know how to lead and what that looks like, I think it's very challenging for some because not everybody's born a natural leader. Some are, some aren't. So just trying to make them feel more comfortable in leading and to where the accountability level from player to player is higher versus just one player being the leader and everybody kind of looking at him.
Yeah. I guess on the player side for you guys, teaching, the younger guys coming in, what did you learn from kind of taking on this bigger role or, kind of being the guy to go to for younger guys? What has it been like for you? What have you learned from it?
Every day you gotta bring it because you don't have that upper class now because we're the upper class, so we have to bring it every day to keep practice, the energy up and everything because we're setting the tone for the rest of the team.
Yeah, we can just go down the line if you guys want to add anything.
Because since you're that leader of your group, you have to lead by example. So if you're going hard in practice, they're watching you and they're taking notes from that.
I think you can always learn from something. So if being a teacher, it puts you in a different perspective on what you're learning. So it's not like you're not just playing now. So now you're evaluating someone else while also how can that help my game too? And you're trying to get your back up to the same speed you are. So no playoff is bad.
Do you think it adds a chip to your guys' shoulder, kind of taking that leadership position and wanting to do well?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it pushes us. Yeah.
I'll just ask you guys, I think you can answer this, just where have you seen the most growth amongst yourself or just in the team in general this summer?
I would say in the weight room. We've worked hard. Made a lot of improvements there.
I think the team chemistry is a lot higher.
Yeah.
like like the leadership has been a lot better this year. It's a lot more player led. We have a strong, heavy senior class, so there's been a lot of that. I can tell the difference in that.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, looking forward to week 1, you got Fairfield Union. What have you seen in that matchup? What have you noticed? Just give me your thoughts.
They're a sound physical football team. Their MOs, they want to run the football and stop the run. So, they're a team that they're still trying to build. This is Coach Clark's second year, so he's getting more in depth with what he wants to do there. Whereas last year was just kind of probably very basic installs. So second year, you're always getting a little bit more complex. Your players have a better understanding of everything. So they're physical. They're big up front. They return a lot of their skill guys, a 3-year starter at quarterback and at running back. So they have some experience that is invaluable at this level. Especially early on when a year ago we were replacing 18 starters and everybody's kind of looking around for who's going to lead. You've been there, done that. You've been there. And you can kind of speak to and bring everybody up. But that's been the biggest thing. They're sound, they're physical, and it's going to challenge us to really have to sit and win the line of scrimmage.
Now, so you just talked about how, what I'm trying to ask is you have a lot of seniors coming up this year, a lot of returners. How is it, I lost my train of thought. What would you have to say?
I mean, I was just asking, you mentioned finishing games. Is there anything else that you think your team needs to focus on the most in terms of winning more games than you did last year?
I wouldn't say. I think that we've always had the players. It's never a question of players. I think our team is very talented from top to bottom, from outside to inside, offensively, defensively. But as Carson kind of alluded to, it's not just about your first guys being good. You got to have some depth and some backups that can also go in and play, because it's very rare you finish the season with the same 11. And so where the leadership comes in is now you're helping those guys behind you, not in fear of, I don't want to make this guy too good, he might take my spot. But if I ever need to come out for an injury or just a breather, my backup has to be as good as me, because I don't want the team to suffer if I need a player, if I have to come out for an injury or something like that. Knock on wood, no injuries. But I don't think that the focus has changed. Like I said, I think that the players owning the practices and what the temperature of a practice feels like, and making sure that everybody's accountable to a standard. But I don't think there's anything drastically different that we're doing or preaching. My biggest thing is just making sure that the players are taking ownership of what they want their legacy to be.
Now, I just caught my train of thought. So, with so much experience back, have you tried, any new different things in the playbook, just trying anything out, or are you, applying the same sort of coaching philosophy that you had last year?
We don't. I personally don't believe you can change your schematics from year to year. I mean, I think you can tailor them to what you have. And our playbook allows the flexibility based on the positions we have and the players that we have. Year to year, it's not the same type of player. Carson's a different running back than our backup Paul. So the plays that we're calling for Carson are going to be different than the plays for Paul. But the thing that we have to decide is, as a staff, what do we do well, and who are our best players, and how can we get them to utilize their skills in the best way possible. So it's not really necessarily a change of schematics, more or less just kind of a tweak to make sure that we're getting the most out of every player and getting them in the best position to be successful. I can't say, hey, we want to run the ball 500 times if our offensive line's not good. We've got to do some things to put us in that position to be successful. So that's the biggest thing, is just trying to see who does what well, and let's let them go and do that.
So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
thank you.